America. I'm Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to the show.
It's release day. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for checking out another SGN video where it's all sim all the time. And I have spent the last couple days playing Diamond Dynasty of all things, as I'm just learning to get used to the new pitching mechanic and just get the feel of the game. And after spending the weekend playing a lot of Diamond Dynasty, just messing around, which is a mode I don't normally play, I have decided to settle in and start my franchise, which of course will be a Colorado Rockies rebuild, right, if there's any doubt. And to get started, I'm going to use the exact same settings that I was using in my most recent slider set from MLB The Show 20. I'm going to use that as a base and as I create a new slider set for this year's game. So if any of you out there are interested in helping, you can go ahead and grab my sliders and settings from last year's game, plug them in, and play with them and give me feedback. I absolutely love interacting with you guys. That's one of my favorite things about sliders, is when people tell me they like my sliders or they give me feedback and help me out. Like, that's so fun, and I've met so many great people through doing something like this. And so the more interaction with you guys, the better, if you ask me. So anyways, this is going to be my Colorado Rockies rebuild. I'll be live streaming it. I'll be uploading gameplay here and there. But I just kind of want to introduce you guys to my team, some of the transactions I made, and how we're going to be looking going into the 2021 season and in the future. So I did make a few trades. So Jason Dominguez is, one of my favorite upcoming players. I got a couple of his rookie cards, so I had to make a trade for him, of course. And you guys can see the trade screen here, and we're going to kind of go in order so you can kind of see the method of my madness. But I did start off telling you guys about Jason Dominguez, and after that, I kind of looked at my catching position. My catcher was a massive need for upgrade, and so I went ahead and I made a trade. I had to give up a little more than I wanted to. I went and got Corey Lee from the Astros, and I had to give up my closing pitcher, who was one of my better pitchers, and a couple prospects. But I was okay with the prospects, and so after I gave up my closing pitcher, I had to go get another one. And so I ended up and went and got one from the Athletics. They had a couple, so I was able to get one from them. And I just gave up some players that I really wasn't going to play. They were older guys that I was going to play my younger guys anyway. So I was able to get that closing position back. And then my last main concern was my bullpen is, and if you're a Rockies fan, bullpen is always not very good. And so I went ahead and I tried to just upgrade my middle relief pitcher just a little bit. So I got Matt Strahm from the Padres. You guys can see exactly what I had to give up for and who I got in return. Oh, I also got Emmanuel Clase. Not that he's only like a 66 overall, same as last year, but he throws like a 99 mile an hour cut fastball. And the thing is so fun. He's so fun to pitch with. So I had to go get him, of course. And the plan, of course, is to let some of my young guys see the field and kind of work with what I got, and hopefully draft well and build around Trevor Story, since we no longer have Arenado. Charlie Blackmon is he's in his dog days. Let's just put it that way. So anyways, now you guys know what I did as far as trades. That's it. The roster is otherwise the exact same as opening day release roster with MLB The Show. So I'll kind of go ahead and show you guys how I'm going to set up and how my team's going to play as far as on the field. So I don't actually have a third baseman. I'm going to play Brendan Rodgers and Ryan McMahon at third. I'm going to just rotate them depending on if we're playing against the righty or lefty. Anyway, getting into that, we'll get into that later. But anyway, obviously got Corey Lee at catcher, and then I do have Dom Nunes, as a good solid backup. At first, we do got CJ Cron, and then Ryan McMahon and Josh Fuentes can both play over there. Ryan McMahon, of course, is a jack of all trades. Huge asset to my team. Second baseman, I normally like to make a trade there for a couple second basemen I like, but Garrett Hampson, you can't trade away him. He's going to be a stud. Pitching, we got two decent pitchers. The rest is something I definitely need to work on. Third base, of course. Ryan McMahon, Brandon Rodgers are going to see a lot of the time there. Outfield, I got some youth, between Sam Hillard, Ramiel Tapia, Jason Dominguez and Casey Golden, and so I'm going to kind of rotate those guys through, again, depending on if we're playing against a righty or a lefty. It's, they're going to play also depending on how it affects my lineup in the infield as well, because I do like to have speed on the bases. As you can see, we have the number 1 rated team as far as speed and the 7th rated team as far as contact. We don't have a lot of power, though, when we lost Arenado and David Dahl. So the game plan, I think, is going to be, get some base hits and steal. We do have a very solid defense at third, so that's really going to be the strength of this team, is just try to string some hits together and use our speed to get an extra base here and there and try to get those guys in. You can see my middle relief pitchers, it's not that bad. It's doable, I think, especially in close games. So I'm okay with where I'm at as far as, middle relief pitcher and closer. I'm okay there. We definitely have some young talent there. Go ahead and kind of show you how the roster is going to look in the next couple years. I have every intention of re-signing Trevor Story, so even though he's not there, I am going to re-sign him, you can best believe. So anyway, you do get to see that Corey Lee, if everything works out, is going to become an absolute stud. Jason Dominguez is going to develop very, very well for us as well. Brendan Rodgers, unfortunately, on a slow side, doesn't really develop at the same pace as those other two, but he will turn into a fine ball player for us. So will Garrett Hampson, and so we are going to have some core players that we can work around. I'm going to obviously need to work on pitching and fill in some other spots here, but I do think that we'll be able to compete in the years coming. This year is going to definitely be a tough year without having a lot of power there. We're going to have to string together a lot of hits, and we're going to have to try to honestly win a lot of low-scoring ball games. This isn't going to be a team that we're going to win a lot of 8-7 games or anything like that. We're going to be in a lot of 3-2, 4-3 games, and so not making mistakes pitching and executing is going to be the key to us winning games. Anyway, you guys can see here are some players I'm going to need to re-sign as they're eligible for contract extensions. Obviously, Trevor Story and Garrett Hampson are my top 2 priorities. And then kind of just going to go from there based on, how it goes with them. But anyway, I do hope you guys like that I'm going to do this for you, this Rockies rebuild, and I'll stream gameplay, and you guys can see where I'm at testing the sliders, and of course, give me any feedback and input. So make sure you guys stay tuned for those future streams, and otherwise, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.